Amanda Smart, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me.
So tell me what it means to have your work featured, not only, I guess, at Manitoba Opera, but here in the Centennial Concert Hall.
Yeah, it's huge. I think that, to quote Liz Barron, our curator, she said that the combination of us for Métis artists, it's going to resonate. And I think that that's something that's definitely fitting for this venue. And also to be able to, people who normally go in and take in visual art, we are reaching a broader audience that I think, really need to hear these stories or see these stories and feel these stories. Same thing as what they're going to get when they see this performance this evening or throughout the week on stage. So, Métis people, as a people, we are storytellers, and every piece tells a story in itself. So.
How has, you're a filmmaker as well, but how has visual art and filmmaking, I guess, shaped your journey in your storytelling?
Oh, yeah. Let me see now. I'm actually going to be working on something with my grandmother in the future, possibly. But these pieces here, they tell a story as it is. This is part of my heritage. It was my great-grandfather's fiddle. It was my grandfather's fiddle. And my great-grandfather is Pierre Falcon, and he wrote which became the Métis national anthem. And it commemorates the Battle of Seven Oaks. And my grandfather used to play the fiddle all the time in the kitchen, like Métis kitchen parties. And this is the pattern of my grandmother's kitchen floor that it's been there since before I was born. So that's already a story in itself, but I think it speaks pretty loudly as it is.
Yeah.
And I hope it speaks to people who see it.
Yeah, so the people who are going to see this, I guess tonight and beyond, what do you hope they take out of seeing your work here?
I hope they tell somebody about it and say, go take a look at this work, because and for myself too, I was like, wow, this had to be done, and it's great. And we were thinking, everybody with the opera, and personally for myself, it's a long way from being 10 years old and coming in with your little recorder playing hot crust buns alongside the symphony, and so I never thought my work would be in the lobby, so I'm really proud to be a part of that, especially with the rest of these artists.
What would 10-year-old you be thinking?
I would be thinking, they were like, hey, that looks like grandma's floor, but but it was so, wasn't nothing I had ever thought of before. I certainly didn't think that it would be, but every piece does tell a story, and especially with all the other artists here as well, so I can't wait to talk to them myself and find out.
Speaking of you and the other artists, what does it mean to have not only Métis, but Métis and two-spirit artists featured in a space like this?
Yes, that's right. Myself and Jason. I don't know, because it's just a part of my life. I never thought, am I a two-spirited artist? Am I a Métis artist? Am I a female artist or filmmaker? It's just Amanda Smart artist. So whichever capacity it comes in, but it is part of my story. So I do include that in there as my piece with Blood is Blood, and that has to do with my heritage. So.
Yeah, and you were talking about this piece in particular.
Yeah.
Why is this one in particular so important to you?
Why? Why is it important? Well, first of all, we're celebrating the opera tonight and the Métis storytelling and the women in Riel's life, from what I understand. And I'm a female relative of Pierre Falcon, so passed down. And my grandmother was the one who's been telling me all these stories. My grandfather was Métis, and my late grandfather. So I figured, I'm the artist in the family. I have this amazing story. What can I do with it? I want to tell it, and how do I tell it? So here it is.
What do you tell the other, maybe, young Métis or Two-Spirit Indigenous people about, if they are trying to, unleash their inner storyteller?
Yeah, I always say, someone said this to me once too, and it was an elder at a film festival. They said, do it for yourself. Do it for you. Make it mean something for you. As long as it means something to you, other people will see that, and that's just part of the bigger picture. So do it for yourself.
Amanda, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great night.
Now, as mentioned, there are other Two-Spirit and Métis artists here as well. Jason Berg is one of them. Thank you for taking some time as well.
Thank you so much for having me today.
So what does it mean to you to have your work featured here?
I'm really honored. I just think I've always been really grateful to be a part of the Indigenous community, but I've always had a serious passion for our Métis community. So yeah, I'm honored to be the son of Doris Lanigan, the senator for the Métis Nation of Ontario, and just raised in a really strong political family. So it's really great to present art as well as to celebrate Li Keur.
What does it mean to see your work showcased in such an institution like the Centennial Concert Hall here in Winnipeg?
Once again, humbled and very grateful. I look forward to the collective celebrations with people. Yeah, and it's also wonderful to be alongside some really fantastic other Métis artists.
Yeah, I mean, talk to me about that a bit. What does it mean to be, showcased alongside, several different, Métis and Two-Spirit artists?
Yeah, I'm once again thrilled. I think it's really awesome that we come together and we present some ideas. And it's amazing what we learn when we all get together. So as we share, tell story, it's been really great. I just learned some new things about the fiddle.
Tell me about your work and what sort of inspired it here, because this is obviously pretty unique.
Yeah, well, I am really out of conversation with Liz Barron, who curated the program. I was really thinking about resilience, actually. And echoing from that place, I started to think about the here and the now. I think about the journey of us as Métis people. And there's been great challenges, but I also think there's been great wins too. So I want to celebrate all things and really put forward a kind of good message for people. I'm thinking about community and care and radical Indigenous love. So yeah, these are really articulations that echo from that space.
What do you hope the audience gets out of this when they're coming and viewing some of this and taking in what's happening here at the Centennial Concert Hall at the Opera?
I hope they once again can see and love everything Métis, as well as our communities, our voices, champion our artists. I think there's so much to be seen and heard, and I think it's so important to support living culture.
And what do you say to young people who are maybe just getting started in trying to find and trying to discover who they are?
Their voice, I think, tell the wind, call it in, ask for your voice, work hard, don't be afraid. Just act in courage and pursue everything that you believe is worth pursuing and living for. Speak your truth. I think as Two-Spirit people, it's great to see in 2023 there's so much more support and acceptance of our Two-Spirit community. And I myself too am working hard to create new pathways for people who are just coming into their own in these spaces. So I just think, stand up, be present, use your gifts. We need them. So come forward.
Jason, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor. Thanks again for having us.